It always comes to this. More nice shit. Hello there guys, back again doing another tattoo progress update today. Where I last left off, I showed off the palm dots done by Terry, and that took roughly an hour and a half. When I last showed them off, they were much dirtier, we'll say. My palms were completely stained with ink, and it was hard to even see the design and kind of what was going on. And so that takes days to wash off. The ink, it gets stuck in your hand skin or your palm skin, almost like your palm needs a drink in the desert or something. It just soaks it all in. It gets in there, and no matter how much you wash, especially if you have like a lot of callus or dry hands, even if you moisturize, some people always have dry hands. This is the case for me. And now you can see those calluses pretty clearly again. Yeah, that ink soaked in like so much, so it was hard to even see what was going on. But now we have more or less the clear shot of the palm tattoo. And also different from when I showed this off last time is some of the dots have already started blowing out. So that doesn't just happen during the session. You can blow out during a session, but intentionally you're trying to blow out with dots. That is the goal, or at least that's our goal here. If you're doing a really precise design, maybe you don't want that. There are people who do whatever the fuck they want to palm tattoos, and that comes from just doing them all the time, like Luke Ashley or Walker. These guys can do elaborate designs on a palm, but even then, I'm sure that there are places where their intention is, or at least they aren't concerned with blowouts, especially in big patches of like solid colors, and they do colors as well, not just black. This was all dotted in, and then it spreads to make almost like mag shading. So none of that is magged in, but it has the look of that because those dots have all spread and connected. Whereas we didn't really want that look here. We were going something more through here, and but all of that is blown out too. You can see how the dots are they're all different shapes and sizes, and that is by design. You can see that's already started happening. You can see the blue gray halo around some of these dots. That continues for weeks. So the idea is hopefully most of, if not all of the dots will do that, as they were all done differently. But since the texture and overall thickness of a palm is different sort of place to place, it's hard to get that exact result everywhere. You can see it some spots on my thumb here. There are some spots also on my fingers that look fairly thin. Those won't probably stay very well, if at all. So, but with a design like this, it's not like you lose one dot and it, breaks the whole thing. So it's not a huge deal if we lose any one dot, and that's kind of the idea of doing the chaotic design, much like we did with my ears. The intention behind some things is whatever we lose does not impact the overall look. I also feel this way similarly about knuckles. I think knuckles are a tough one to get a good design to stay on. Use background shading or color, or in this case blackout. Don't involve your design on your knuckles. So you can get it to work, but it's just more work than it's going to be worth for most people. Now, again, I'm not most people. I could probably, in saying that, I get tattooed all the time. I could probably do whatever the fuck I wanted over my knuckles, but even for me, it's like, why would I bother when I already know that it's a disaster zone? To do that, just do something that has a better success rate. I know that's ironic coming from me, given what I'm showing you guys weekly and preaching, but certain spots on the body just don't take. It's the same reason like I still don't have perfect finger blackouts. We're going to dot those in and see what we can do with that, but I'm not looking to get into color on black fingers for the same reason. So with that all said, my palms are healing up easy. I've already been back to working out. It's only been 2.5 days. I have no pain in my palms, and they don't even feel like they've been tattooed. This is always the case with palm tattoos for me. I did my weighted push-ups and my weighted pull-ups and dips this morning. I will be back onto weights this afternoon. Like I said, I had these done on Wednesday. It's Saturday morning. I also did my push-ups yesterday morning. I didn't do pull-ups. Obviously, I haven't hit weights yet, but I'll be starting in on that again today. So I want to stress, whenever you get palm tattoos, like, this is going to take weeks to shed. That doesn't mean that you can't touch anything or that doing anything with your hands is going to fuck up the tattoo. The surface layer of this is basically chill and more or less, in some sense, healed already. Whatever is going to happen with this palm tattoo is happening under the surface. And when you're trying to get things to blow out, it's almost good to mistreat them to some degree. Now, this is going to sound insane because I would never recommend purposely mistreating a palm tattoo, but things like working out, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference on the overall heal of the tattoo, and whatever difference it does make might even be for the best, because you can actually create blowouts by doing things like that, as odd as that may sound. So, anecdotal, but there you have it. I'm not going to talk more about my palm right now. I've already spent 6 minutes discussing that. I had a session earlier this week with Rick through here and back here. So you can see that's all peeled up now. So stayed really good up here, but this spot's been good for a while. Let's be honest, that's been fine for a while. Through here, yeah, we got a bit of a buff from that. Through here still isn't perfect. Rick has had a hell of a time getting that in. And there's parts that are good, like up here and then down here, but right in here is being a real bitch. Like, that's been 5 or 6 times through there now. No joke. And it's lagging behind, but it's better than it was. So next week, I guess in a few days here, not next week, Rick and I will be on the back stretch here with these tentacles. So with that, I'll get into, finally, you've already seen the thumbnail, so not super concerned with getting right to it. I'll get into the leg tattoo I did with Ashlyn just recently. So it's probably going to be really hard to show this one off. I really struggle showing off the calf tattoos. It's a real problem. So yeah, I got this mimic box on the back of my leg here. Not a whole ton to say about it. There's not some meaning to this. This isn't done for my grandfather that was a warrior or worked in a coal mine his whole life. There's no blue eye for, because his eye was blue, and there's no death dates, birth dates, because, it's a tattoo and it doesn't have to have meaning for everyone. It's just, has to look cool or whatever you want it to be, So no grand story here. I just think mimics are cool. I played a lot of RPGs as a kid, JRPGs in particular, lots of Final Fantasy, and these guys are in a lot of RPGs, and they're real assholes. You open up a chest, one of these motherfuckers in there. So I always kind of wanted a mimic tattoo. Never had one in my first suit, so I kind of knew that there would be one involved in my legs at some point. I wasn't sure who would do it. I wasn't sure which colors there'd be. You can kind of do whatever you want with this, so... we did try a couple new colors this time. I'm not sure what the brown was. I'll get that later. I can't remember this second, but the Tunisian teal was one that I wanted to try a bigger area of. It's kind of like turquoise, but like a lighter version. Kind of looks like the turquoise blue that we used in my knee tattoo. I'll show off here in a minute. If you mixed it with white or a light green or something. So I wanted to see what that would look like. And then for the tongue here, we used red velvet for the dark spots and fuchsia pink for the lighter spots. And still keeping with this same green that we used in the pumpkin that Sarah did on my other side of my leg here and the Mind Flayer tattoo. So that green there, that's gamma green. And it looks the same, fresh and healed. You can see that in a snapshot. That's one of the rare colors that I've seen in, 20 years' time, that it just goes in the color that it heals. It doesn't change much at all. Like, if any change at all, it's so slight you don't even notice it. So, very, very thrilled with how that gamma green goes in. We were thinking about using Android maybe, but I thought since there's already a couple pieces with gamma green built in here, it would be cool to keep with that same kind of through line so that there is some connectivity. And then obviously Mr. Hankey's just doing his thing down there. He's completely indifferent to everything else going on this leg. But then so is my dog portrait too. So, but yeah, this piece took about, let's say, 5 hours roughly. So not too crazy. We lined it with a 7, and of course black on black came first, and then the tongue was done, then the green, blue, yellow, brown. Yeah, it was a good time. It was fun getting something with color with Ashlyn, because Ashlyn had prior done the Nosferatu on my leg on the other side here, and that was back in November, and we touched a little bit of it again in January, but it was still healing, and we weren't really able to get into it for a full second pass. But I mean, it's only looking better with time, not worse. Even in the video clips that were made during the session, it was striking how nice the Nosferatu came off in the fucking video. So even though we haven't been able to get back in there, and we will again, it's just there's one spot right here that's very textured. Whenever you have that texture there, and it's less textured than it was, you just want to let it settle out before you get into it again, because you don't want to be tattooing over skin that hasn't fully settled yet. And even after lotioning, it's still dry. So who knows when that'll go away. But the nice thing is, it's not in desperate need of any help. It doesn't probably ever need to be tattooed again, truth be told. But I'll hit it again at some point, but no rush. And then obviously the knee tattoo. So I haven't showed this one off healed yet, and I'll get to that. So in through the knee itself is the worst of it, as expected. There's literally no shock there. There's nothing to be surprised about in there. But all that turquoise literally just stayed the same. Also to note, that's pretty good white for first pass. Like, that's some of the best first pass white I've seen from Alex. From anyone, actually. But yeah, all that blue did great. The yellow is paler, but still pretty good. And you could see where my skin was starting to tighten up even when she was doing the red background, because it's pretty thin there. So whenever you're working on the bends, like knees, elbows, stuff like that, you can expect some of that to happen. It's just part of it, you know. Whenever you hit the joints, pisses everything off. So by the time we got to doing this background connector to the back down here, the skin had enough. So we were planning on touching up this guy during that session, and I was like, nah, we'll do it another day. Because if it's not taking well, then you're just beating the skin up more than you need to. So with that said, the next thing I'll be doing on my legs is I'm going to be working on this guy again. So there's just a bit more to do. The yellow and the white needs to be gone over again. There's some high points I feel like we should hit. And then we'll smooth out the background between the knee and the shin here, and probably hit the overall background of the bat again because it's a little thinner. Other than that, that's pretty much good to go. While we're here, Candy Cane is doing great. Not changing at all, and if anything, it's getting better. It seems to be the case that a lot of this stuff, especially because my legs are 6 years blacked out, the ink that goes into it now it's only, if anything, getting stronger and taking over more as time goes on, rather than the black eating it up. It eats up the black. It kind of fucks the black. So counter to what people will tell you that, oh, the black is going to come back and it's going to take over. No, the color is making the black its bitch. And it doesn't surprise me because I'm a laser guy. And I understand that black ink is the weakest fucking ink there is. So a concentrated color is always going to overpower black. It just is. And yeah, you can black out color, but as evidenced by my recent chest blackout there, it's black has a harder time covering color sometimes than color has covering black, which is funny because people would think that it would be the opposite, or that indeed it would be impossible to even cover black, but it's quite the opposite. So also to note, get this up here, the Mozart continues to brighten. That's every time I have a good look at this, it's lighter than I remember it. So like, holy fuck, is that thing getting white? If anything, I think we're gonna have to do more sculpting with black and darker opaques in there, because the white is actually pretty fucking white already. Now obviously we'll incorporate some white in the second pass here. We'll be doing that this week too, I believe. I think I have 3 sessions again next week, but we'll see how it shakes out. They won't be crazy sessions though. No new pieces, just kind of refining what I've got. So yeah, we'll be doing also that session. If we do that, we'll be doing the finishing touches for the Mr. Hanky. So these leg tattoo updates are they're getting harder to do. There's a lot more to say. I've got more pieces in motion. Important to note, there's nothing on my legs that's been done more than twice, and most of it is first pass. So yeah, as I said, the leg tattoo updates, they're going to take more and more time, because I'm sure that I have a lot of people wondering how each of these pieces is doing, because they're all done by different artists and different skill levels, and then also different techniques, different styles. And if I didn't already break it to you with that update down there, everything is doing fine. And short of divine intervention, it's not logical to assume it's not going to go okay from here. I think that I could do any tattoo on my legs, and any artist at this shop or most other shops would be capable of doing it. So I feel like I've done everything in my power to educate that this is not something that you need an elite artist to do. Ashlyn really struggled with the Nosferatu tattoo on my leg, and it gave her a complex a bit because it healed poorly. And I don't generally ever heal poorly. So, but I am human. But that one really upset her that didn't work that well. And so she was committed to this session not doing any damage. So she just did quick pass through, didn't waste a whole lot of time getting in her ego or getting upset with things weren't working. Just move on. If it's a thin coat, it's in there better than you think it is. The worst thing you can do is overwork. That's not just over black, that's just in color or any tattooing anyway. So I'm finding the thin coat, just get it in there first pass. It seems to hold up about as well as it goes in. When you lose, it's because you've done more damage rather than less. And the more you work it, the less color you get in. So it's actually counter to, some people think you have to really pack it in there. I've heard that thought. Oh, when you're doing black, do you have to really beat it in there? No. Just put it in like you would any other tattoo and get the fuck out of there. It's going to mix and it's going to dull down a little bit usually. Sometimes not, like I said with the gamma green. But get the fuck out of there. You don't sit there and beat the skin up all day and hope for perfection on a first pass. Even then, like I found the lighter stuff, like the quick in and out saturated, like that stuff seems to age and heal better than anything that you work on too much. So I think with this, it's not important to try and fully saturate it. Sometimes the ink has to mix in there, and then you can always come back for a second pass. And I do recommend a second pass for all color tattoos, not just over black anyway. So, like with all the rest of my stuff, I've told you guys about the Mind Flayer, the Beholder on my knee, the little alien my wife did on my leg. Those will all be getting second passes. They're pretty good now, but they'll be even better soon. They'll be getting more details and more tones. We did very flat colors, just big, broad patches of color so that we can come in and refine from there. And that'll be that. And like I said, these are not experts, guys. These are people who are literally doing this for the first, second time. And it's not rocket science either. It's just basic tattooing. We pick the colors we like, There aren't even magic colors. Like, there's some that do work better than others, and we're still finding those, by the way. I have people asking me for exact colors all the time. It's like, here, how much fucking time you got? Here, let me give you 120 of them that we've used. Here, let me start by eliminating the ones that don't work. And then the list is very short. They almost all work. Almost every color works. So I don't know why people are prone to thinking that it's either a special machine, a special ink, a special artist, or in the rare event, it's AI, or I'm photoshopping everything. I had a guy recently tell me he had a tattooer commit to blackout on him with the intention of covering it. They did all the blackout, and at the end of it, he said he didn't want to do the work over black anymore. And when the guy said, he used me as an example of like, oh, but this works. The guy said, everything that guy does is just for content and because he's bored. And his whole body is edited. And it's like, I can't even imagine being that dumb and checked out of my job. Like, man, just go make burgers at McDonald's. You're done. You're fucking done. Like, you're so out of it. You're literally just doing this for money. And I can't even imagine conning someone out of blacking their arm out and then telling them to hit the road. Like, what a fucking piece of shit. If I had that guy's handle, if he had given it to me, I would be blasting him on all my social media. And I feel like that needs to happen. These guys need to be called out because there's no fucking excuse for that horse shit. Especially when I have girls in here shop who are within their first couple years, and in the case of my wife, did a tattoo over my blackout in 10 months of tattooing. And she is not, and this is not a swing at my wife. Obviously, I love her and I think she's a good artist. She is not the elite creme de la creme tattooer. She got into tattooing very late in her life, and she's only been doing this for a fucking moment. She's a baby in this. As are all of these artists that are doing this on me, other than Rick. Even Terry was only tattooing for a year and a half professionally when he started on me. And it's like, now we have literally got, I would say 3/4 of his books are people traveling here for him to do this. So there really is no excuse. And if you're a tattooer yourself watching this, and you've done something similar to what I just said, you're part of the problem, pal. And you need to go work at Wendy's, not tattoo. Sorry, because like, this is fucking pathetic. Especially at this point, like, I am literally fucking the rule book in the ass in here every day. We're literally doing whatever the fuck we want, in good taste, bad taste, whatever. It doesn't even matter. You can criticize my designs. I had a tattooer earlier do that. Oh, yeah, the designs aren't good. Yeah, I'm sorry it's not a lion with a fucking blue eye, bud. Sorry, you can get that one yourself. But, like, as far as the technicality of this, it's like, every single thing that I've been told has been a lie about tattooing. It's all been a lie, every part of it. This is the same thing with the palm tattoos. Like, I had a guy, how long are you expecting the dots to last? He commented that on this video. I don't know, buddy. How old do you think these are? Like, you've seen these for a while. Are they changing? Like, it's just crazy how much of this industry is built on superstitious nonsense. And it's just hearsay. He said, she said. There's literally no fact about it. I seen a fucking, I'm not going to get into that. Actually, that's a whole other fucking one. But anyway, yeah, it's exhausting sometimes to deal with. It's just, honest to God, is exhausting, the shit that I hear. And they're from people who want to do this stuff too. Like, I hear from these people because they're coming to our shop. They're literally booking flights for us to have very young artists do this for them because their master artists in the city they live in won't do it for them. And that's fucking disgusting. Especially in this day and age when there's more tattooers quitting and shops closing than I've ever fucking seen before. I just seen another one this morning closing up their doors, been in business 35 years, the economy. And then you got people telling you no. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, you need the business, you piece of shit. And if you won't do it, then it's sad but true, we'll do it here. And I think it's pathetic that we have people traveling to Lethbridge, Alberta to get this work done that we can have done by fucking apprentices. Give your heads a shake, you fucking assholes. Anyway, I will be talking to you guys here in a couple days. Have a great day.